All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, look, over the past couple of weeks, we've heard a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors that multiple teams, quote unquote, have been interested in Sam Darnold. There's been a significant level of interest as far as teams calling about Sam. Well, today, Adam Schefter of ESPN reported that 3 teams specifically have reached out to the New York Jets. He dropped them all. Number 1, the Carolina Panthers. 2, the Indianapolis Colts. And number 3, the Washington football team. Okay, so let's talk about Carolina first. So you're taking a look at Carolina, right? They don't have a long-term option at the quarterback position on the roster. They don't, okay? Even though I love Teddy Bridgewater, he's not a top 15 guy. Bridgewater's not going to be the starting quarterback of the Panthers for the next 10 years. It's just simply not in the cards. It's not. It sucks, but it's not, all right? And Darnold's not a top 15 quarterback either, okay? By no means is he, but the difference is Sam Darnold's not only a little bit cheaper as we stand right now, but he's 23 and he has a high ceiling, right? He still has some potential. He's flashed here and there. So I would say right now the overall mindset, or, you know, looking at the situation from a macro perspective from Carolina's viewpoint, would be, okay, we're a team right now that has a great coaching staff, a great young coaching staff, Joe Brady, Matt Rule. We're on the come up, right? We're trending in the right direction. Our team is young, but they fight for 4 quarters every single game. We push teams like the Kansas City Chiefs to the brink, the New Orleans Saints to the brink, right? Look at all the one-possession losses that this team lost last season. There's a lot of them. Okay, so Carolina, they're a sneaky good team. We have a lot of offensive weapons. Robbie Anderson, ex-Jet, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore. We have some nice offensive pieces. We also have Teddy Bridgewater in place, who we can either dish out and save money, or we can keep on the roster and stash Sam Darnold behind the bench, right? We missed out on Matthew Stafford. We missed out on Lawrence, Wilson, probably Justin Fields. So we can now possibly acquire Sam Darnold, a 23-year-old kid, on a cheap 1-year contract, essentially. Let's see what he has. Whether he's starting or on the bench, we can really take a good look and evaluate this guy. So Carolina, it makes a lot of sense. I've really been saying Carolina, I feel like, makes a lot of sense for Darnold specifically because of the coaching staff, because of the position that they're in right now. It's not like Darnold's going to be coming in and being asked to be the savior of the franchise. Nothing like that. And I don't think it would hurt for Sam Darnold to spend some time on the bench, right? If the Panthers want to hang on to Teddy. So overall, Carolina makes a ton of sense. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, and this is the team right now that I feel like everybody kind of links the two parties together. Same with Carson Wentz, actually. But, I mean, man, you're looking at the Colts right now. This is a team that's coming off an 11-win season. This team truly, right now, is a quarterback away. They have a fantastic offensive line. They have a great young running game. The defense is fantastic under Matt Eberflus. They have a great coaching staff. Eberflus, Frank Reich. I love the offensive system. He's shown in the past that he can develop quarterbacks. I want to say the only weakness that the Colts have is offensive weapons, right? I feel like they don't really have a lot. Plus, you're looking at the guys on the roster, right? Zach Pascal, I believe he's scheduled to hit free agency. Same with T.Y. Hilton. The good news is the Colts, they have that first-round pick, so you can maybe go out and select a Rashad Bateman or something like that. I love Michael Pittman, a young guy on the roster, and they have a ton of money in cap space, so they can theoretically go out and sign, an AJ Green on a cheap 1-year deal, or an Allen Robinson or something along those lines, if they want to shell out the big bucks, right? Kenny Golladay, there's a lot of different guys, Chris Godwin, a lot of different dudes, all right? So the Colts right now are a quarterback away. You're looking at quarterback options. Phillip Rivers is long gone, right? He retired. Jacoby Brissett, I feel like the jury's still out. He's had some time in the league. He's had a full season with the Colts. He spent some time with New England. I feel like it's not really, they're not sold. If they were sold, they wouldn't have acquired Phillip Rivers in the first place. Jacob Eason, a guy who I really, really like, coming out of Georgia and Washington. Big arm quarterback, big body quarterback, really, really electric arm, right? This guy can, I feel like he can throw a ball through, a brick wall. But do the Colts really want to hand over an 11-win team to Jacob Eason and say, here you go? We got to go to the playoffs, right? We're going to be contending with the Tennessee Titans this season. It's all on you. Do they want to do that to a second-year guy? And the argument can be made with Sam Darnold. I mean, Darnold, he doesn't really complete a lot of passes. He hasn't really shown that much. He's flashed at times. So I think right now, when you're looking at the Colts and the Panthers, I think the Panthers makes more sense for Darnold right now and the organization. But with the Colts, it's intriguing because they really check a lot of boxes, right? The defense will give you the football back. They will make stops. The great coaching staff in place and the offensive line. I like Carolina more, but I think the Colts are still a sweet landing spot nonetheless. And last but not least, the Washington football team. Okay, and I've really talked, ad nauseum here about Washington, about this position for them. It's been a complete turnstile, right? Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, Taylor Heineke, Dwayne Haskins. 4 quarterbacks last year. They still managed to get to the playoffs. They still managed to get 7 wins. The coaching staff is fantastic. Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio. I love what they do, especially on the defensive side of the football. They have young playmakers all over the defensive side, right? It's an up-and-coming defense. I think this defense right now has the potential to be a top 5 unit next season. I know it sounds crazy, but I do believe that, all right? You're looking at the offense. They have a couple of young playmakers. I like Cam Sims a lot, but I'm not really so sure how Washington feels about him right now. It does kind of have a drop problem, but you still have Antonio Gibson, really, really nice ascending player out of Memphis. Terry McLaurin as well, great weapon on the outside. You can also play him on the inside. Versatile guy. Washington makes a lot of sense. Also, great offensive line. Washington makes a lot of sense. You're looking at that division as well. Philly, kind of up in the air. The Giants, what's going on with them? I know people are, jumping on the Giants bandwagon. And then Dallas, we have all these question marks about Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy. Is he the guy? Defensive question marks all over the field. Brand new DC and Dan Quinn coming in the building. I think Washington right now, they won 7 games last year with literally handing the ball off and checking it down. They didn't do that. There wasn't a lot of creativity on the football team's offense, right? So I feel like Darnold makes a lot of sense here as well because you have Alex Smith there in place. He can be that veteran mentor for Darnold. Even if Darnold's in there playing, he could kind of take on that Josh McCown style of role. So Washington, man, I feel like Washington makes a ton of sense. I would say right now it would go Carolina, Washington, and then Indy. That's my personal list. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I'm happy we have some names though, for real. Like I'm happy we're starting to hear some of the teams that are interested, and because there's so many teams out there that need quarterbacks, right? Niners, Patriots, Saints, Bears, Colts, all these different teams, right? Football, so many different teams. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.